How does the rough affect hole distance statistics? Have you ever wondered how the rough impacts the game of golf, especially when it comes to hole distance statistics? The rough is that longer grass area surrounding the fairway and green, and it plays a significant role in how players perform. Let's break it down. When a golf ball lands in the rough, it becomes a challenge for players to control their shots. The thicker grass slows down the clubhead during impact. This results in reduced ball speed and unpredictable spin. As a result, shots from the rough typically travel shorter distances compared to those from the fairway. This means that when players hit from the rough, they often find themselves farther away from the hole after their approach shots. Statistical analysis from the Professional Golfers Association Tour shows a clear correlation between the height and severity of the rough and the average distance from the hole after approach shots. For instance, a rough penalty can lead to an increase of up to 40% in the average distance a player's ball finishes from the hole after an approach shot. This makes it tougher for players to get close to the hole, which can lead to higher scores on those holes. The rough also has an indirect effect on driving distance statistics. When the rough is particularly penal, players tend to be more cautious off the tee to avoid missing the fairway. This cautious approach can reduce their driving distance. On the other hand, wider fairways and less penal rough encourage longer drives. Research indicates that for every yard increase in fairway width, average driving distance can increase by about half a yard. This shows how the setup of the course, including the rough and fairway width, impacts overall hole distance outcomes. From a strategic standpoint, the presence of rough requires players to be precise with their shot placement. Professionals often have to adjust their club selection and swing to minimize distance loss and maintain control. On holes with severe rough, players might opt to avoid using a driver off the tee or aim for safer landing zones to steer clear of the rough. This strategic decision-making directly affects hole distance statistics by reducing aggressive long shots. In summary, the rough affects hole distance statistics in several ways. It reduces shot distance and accuracy because the thicker grass slows down the interaction between the ball and club. This leads to an increase in average distance from the hole after approach shots, making scoring more challenging. Additionally, it influences driving strategy, often resulting in reduced average driving distance when the rough is severe. Players must adjust their shot selection and course management to avoid the rough, which ultimately impacts their performance and the overall hole distance outcomes. Understanding these factors can help both men and women golf professionals optimize their game based on course conditions.